Okay, I just bought this. Let's start. Harmonia. I think this was created by the developer of Planet, Little Busters, and we're right. Okay, start. It began with an unnatural beep. A pale light fused my vision. I first saw the light a few seconds prior. Or perhaps it was a few hundred years ago. Nothing else had changed much. Okay. I wonder where I started seeing this light. The light. I wondered when I would stop seeing the light. I wondered how many times it had been. Okay. I wondered how many more times I would think these thoughts. Unconsciously extended my arms toward the pale light. Oh my god, I have robot arms. Or just hand, I don't know. Oh, it's just hand. Was something ending? I don't know. Was something beginning? Like my heart. I didn't know, of course. Even so, I remained hopeful and continued to extend both arms towards the light. Oh. Oh my god, it was so loud. Then the air moved. The pale light which had once surrounded me began to recede. And the next thing I saw was a filthy ceiling. Both right and left arms were extended toward the ceiling, but the right was a little different. My right arm was mechanical and some components were poking out from the wrist. The fingers moved smoothly, but as they did, I could hear the gentle reverberation of metal scraping against metal. Yeah. I began to sit up slowly.
Scraping.
Ah, I'm right. I began to sit up slowly. Oh. Finally, I realized that the pale light which had consumed my vision came from the softly curved oblong lid which was before me. Apparently, I had been asleep in this capsule-like thing. Where was I? Who was I? Why was I here? Why was I here? Asking asking these questions to myself provided no answers. In an attempt to trace back my own memories, all I could recall was the pale light. Oh. Hoping to find even the smallest hint about my memories, I climbed down from the capsule and began to wander around the room. Hmm. Even though I knew how to walk, I must not have done it for a long time. My legs were unsteady and shaky. Taking great care not to fall over, I slowly continued my walk. The air around me was lukewarm, and each breath I took coated my throat with dust. Oh. Outside, light was coming in through a hole in the ceiling, and its path revealed the dust in the air. Oh my god. It seemed as though no one had been in this building for quite some time. A thin layer of dust covered the floor. I wondered what went on in this place. A countless number of those oblong capsules dotted the huge room. The majority of them were open, and they were all empty. Some of them were closed, but even they had nothing inside. It seemed that I was the only one in the room. No, that wasn't exactly true. There were people leaning against the capsules and lying sprawled on the ground. Oh. Except something was wrong. You couldn't really call them human. Oh my god. It might be more accurate to call them humanoid objects. So they are cyborgs or something. The mechanical parts of these humanoid objects could be seen peeking out from beneath their skin. For some, everything above the neck was mechanical. The mechanical arms on some were bare. Some were bare. Some of their lower halves were torn, and their mechanical parts visible. Then I remembered something about these humanoid objects. Phiroids. Oh, that's what they call them. Made for humans to serve as their partners. They were equipped not only with the five senses but also emotions in order to be close as possible to real humans. I reached out my hand at a motionless Phiroid. The bare, skinless arm was frighteningly similar to my own. Maybe you're a Phiroid too. I understood. This was a factory. I was made here. Just before I was completed, this place must have been destroyed for some reason. Before my right hand was covered with artificial skin staring at my mechanical arm, I reached this plausible conclusion. Realizing what I was, I began to walk towards a wall. There were all the automatic doors with a dusty LCD reading closed next to them. I touched it with my mechanical hand. Just as my bloodless fingertips sent something cold and electrical, the display changed, the read open, and the door unsealed. Would I be able to get out this way? I wondered if there was someone remaining in the facility. I wanted to meet them. I wanted to meet a human. To find my partner. I pushed open the door leading outside and set out in order to prove my own existence. Chapter 1 Encounter. Oh, achievement. The first stone. Once the human population hit its peak of 10 billion, a rapid decline began. Air pollution, water pollution, contamination, abnormal weather, conflicts. The list of causes was endless. During this time, the Phiroids were developed. They were deeply emotional partners for humans. Phiroids were originally equipped with batteries, but afterwards an oral energy supply model was developed. They could be powered by eating food. That's so nice. That's so really that's I think is that actually nice? Maybe they could be powered by eating food. Phiroids became even more human-like as a result, eventually substituting for family or lifetime companions, and the demand continued to rise. Even more importantly, there was no such thing as death for Phiroids. Oh, that's true. Therefore, they were also in high demand in harsh work environments such as hospice care. Hospice. I don't know how to read them. Hospice. Ah, oh. Okay.
Hospice.
Hospice. Okay. Hospice care and medicine. They could even be used in places which would be harmful for a human body. The Phiroids were happy with this brutal work. After all, fjords exist to live alongside humans and to be needed by humans. Do they have consciousness or just emotion? I don't know. Maybe. As I reclaim this knowledge from the depths of my memory, I walked across the cracked red earth. Having escaped that sand-covered facility, I was faced with a world that differed immensely from the one I knew. The wind swirled the dust around, interfering with both my sight and breathing. The earth I tread upon contained no trace of moisture, and each step created a small cloud of sand. So it's like Mars. The sky was covered with thick. No, Mars is cold. I don't know. It was covered with thick, all-consuming clouds. I could not see a hint of blue. Oh, I was so desolate. It was so desolate a scene that it could not have even be called a wasteland. As far as I could see, there was not a hint of life. Not even plants grew here. It wasn't just the facility I was in had been abandoned. Something had happened to this area. I came up with several possibilities as I scanned through my knowledge, but found no answer. The occasional downpour would bring with it a rusty smell. In those cases, I took extreme care to make sure rainwater did not enter the glove covering the exposed machinery of my right hand. I had found a glove in the factory. It fit my arm perfectly, and fortunately, there was only the slightest bit of space for moisture to make its way inside. What's more, wearing the glove made me look completely human. I wanted to be just like a human. A sudden thought came to me in that moment. This glove was absolutely essential for that purpose. As I shielded myself from the murky raindrops, I consumed one of the emergency oral nutrient blocks that I had taken from the factory. As their only purpose was to efficiently supply energy, they were almost flavorless. Regardless, they were necessary for me to keep taking steps forward. No matter how many steps I took, I did not find the light I was looking for. Judging from the changing brightness of the sky, I had walked for 3 days. Although I had reduced my walking speed to keep energy consumption down, I must have covered a fair distance. But I had not encountered a single human along the way. Can I look at the scenery? That could be a creature though. I don't know. I hope not, but I think it's possible. Alright. So actually we should just stop polluting the planet. But I had not encountered a single human along the way, nor did I encounter any towns, grass, or other living things. All that lay in front of my eyes was endless red-brown earth. It was too harsh of an environment to support any form of life. Was the world completely destroyed? Had humans become completely extinct? I hope not. Was I the only thing that remained in the world? I think not. Seeds of doubt had been planted within me, and then finally began to sprout. However, I kept walking to dispel that doubt. I walked and walked and walked and walked. I don't know how far I walked. After all, to stop walking would be to lose my reason for existing. After the third squall, I arrived at a place with enough buildings to call a town. I hope it's not empty.